MRC91 repeater, I would like to welcome you to the Saturday Night Fun Net. This is Kilo 9 Victor Frank Papa, K9 VFP Vince, and I'm located in Pewaukee, Wisconsin, and I will be acting as your net control operator for tonight's net. Licensed amateurs, technician class or higher, are encouraged to check in with or without traffic. However, as this is the fun net, we hope that you will choose to participate. Before we start, if you should have an emergency during this net, please let us know. We'll stop the net to handle your emergency. Our topic for this evening, as this is the day before Mother's Day, and this is the Fun Net, let's take a moment and acknowledge all of the fun we've had with our mothers, because there's one totally undeniable fact. We each have one and only one mother, and if it wasn't for a mother, we wouldn't be around here today. So let's take a moment and bring them from the background, whatever state they be in. Let's have a discussion about our mothers, the family, and all the good times we had with them. Let's get started. Check-ins are in alphabetical segments based on the first letter following the numeral in your call sign. Mobile stations may ignore the roll call segments and check in at any time it's safe to do so. During the check-in, please respond with your call sign slowly in standard phonetics, along with your first name. If I have either your call sign or your name incorrect, please come back and let me know. Again, this is Vince, K9 VFP, your net control operator for the Sunday Fun Net. We will now begin check-ins with any mobile stations. Mobile stations, come now, please. Hearing none, we'll now proceed with check-ins starting with A Alpha through F Foxtrot. A Alpha to F Foxtrot, come now, please.
Number 9, Echo India Oscar, Ed here.
To acknowledge November 9, Echo India Oscar, Ed, welcome to the net. Move on to the next segment, A Alpha through K Kilo. A Alpha through K Kilo, come now, please.
Kilo Delta Niner, Sierra Oscar Romeo, Bill.
Wishes to acknowledge KD9SOR, Bill. Let's move on to the next segment of the alphabet. A Alpha through P Papa. A Alpha through P Papa, come now, please. Hearing none, let's open it up to the next piece. A Alpha through V Victor. A Alpha through V Victor, come now, please.
This is November 9, Romeo Kilo Whiskey, Cheryl.
Kilo Delta Niner, Sierra, Golf, Alpha, David.
Wishes to acknowledge N9RKW, Cheryl, and KD9SGA, David. Well, let's open it up. A Alpha through Z Zulu. A Alpha through Z Zulu, come now, please.
Kilo Charlie 9, Whiskey Quebec Juliet, Karen.
Kilo Bravo 9er, Yankee, Quebec Victor, Shane.
Shane, I missed part of your call sign. Come on back, please.
Kilo Bravo 9er, Yankee, Quebec Victor.
Next, wishes to acknowledge KC9WQJ, Karen, and KB9YQV, Shane. One more time, A Alpha through Z Zulu. Any other stations like to check in?
Whiskey 9, Bravo Lima. Name's Rob.
Just to recognize W9BL, Rob. So let's get started. As I mentioned, I wanted to do just a discussion and memories of Mom. I mean, I have a lot of fun memories of my mother. When I moved out here to the Midwest, she had never flown in her life, and she flew out here to meet me. One of the few times that, towards the end of her time here on Earth, she came out here and she got lost, and the only thing she had on her was one of my business cards. So I get a phone call at work from a very nice police officer that he was driving my mother home from about 2 cities away. How she got there, I don't know, but she got lost. Now, mind you, she was very coherent and very good with public transportation. So this was just a very amusing anecdote that I remember with my mother. So let's get started. N9EIO Ed, the floor is yours. What can you say?
Oh, what can I say? N9EIO. Yeah. My mom kind of disappeared off the radar for many years. And, it was like I hadn't seen her in, I think, 30 years. She had been out in California, maybe 84. Maybe not that long. 84, 94. Well, pretty close. Anyway, she had moved out in San Francisco, and now she's in San Diego, but it was a long time, I think about 30. And she surfaced. My sister had been poking around on Google and found her and ran into her once in a vitamin shop in San Francisco. And then shortly after that, she got in contact with her and me. And the next thing I knew, she was taking the train. She was coming back to the Midwest, and she was in Phoenix, and she sent me a message, and she ended up back in Michigan, and she reunited with a bunch of her family. You know, we're from the Michigan area. I was born in Flint, and I'm glad she got to meet with my grandma, who almost made it to 100. I think she died at 99. But so anyways, I'm living at Harwood Manor in Wauwatosa Village there, and it's just the greatest deal to live in a nice neighborhood you ever could find. And I got her a place for, like, I don't know what her rent was, 200 and 230, 240 a month. Let me reset. So here's my mom, California girl with her beads and necklaces and colorful clothes, and she looked great. She had really taken good care of herself, and I got her a place in Wauwatosa. She made a ton of friends in Tosa Village area, and it was late summer, early fall. We had a rough winter. You know, she had been out west all those years, and she had kind of a hard time with winter, but she survived. But wow, that was a really interesting 8 months that she just came back into my life, living right down the hall from me. It's just like, wow, life can just throw something at you out of the blue. And then she kind of just wigged out on us, and she decided she was going to move back out, and she followed this path. She went down to Kansas City and lived down there for 6 months or so, and then she went back out to San Diego. The only thing we know about her now is that she's back. Her name appears on the San Diego Public Housing Committee list, and that's all we know about her. If we wanted to find her again, we could go to San Diego and go down there and get some information from her fellow employees or whatever, or volunteers. But it's up to her. She wants to come back out of her shell again. But yeah, that's my mom. She's great. I love her. But hey, what can I say? My family's got issues, and I know I'm not alone there. So that's one little blurb. N90IO, back to net.
Well, thanks, Ed. K9BFP here, your net control operator. KD9SOR, Bill, floor is yours.
Hey there. Yeah, KD9SOR. Haven't got much planned. Me and my brother are going to be cleaning my stepmom's truck. She didn't want to go out to dinner or didn't want to get a card or anything like that. She just really doesn't like cleaning the truck and wanted us boys to clean it for her. So I thought that was really nice. And certainly, I'm not much of a card person. I don't like going down to the store and looking for cards. But if she wants me to do chores, I'm all for it. And then for my mom, I'll probably take her out to dinner. It's kind of hard juggling all these different moms, but well, we make it work, and it's always fun. Back to net control.
Yes, indeed, Bill. K9BFP, your net control. Yes, indeed. Moms are people, and people come in all different varieties and with all different colors and scales. So look at it as they're all different, they're all wonderful, but each one is unique to you. So let's move on. N9RKW, Cheryl, the floor is yours.
N9RKW here. Well, I am a mom. Bill and I have a 27-year-old son, Christopher, out in Vancouver, Washington, with a beautiful wife, a wonderful person, Tracy. We talk to them every Sunday. I'm sure we'll hear from them tomorrow. And I am sad to say that my mom's been gone a long time. I had a pretty traditional background, blue-collar family, mom and dad throughout my years. Mom was one of those very practical people, helped me get set up in college, shopping with me, and helped me get set up with my apartments. And she ended up with emphysema. My mom was a heavy smoker, years old and died at 64 of emphysema. So in '89, the summer of, she was told by doctors that she would hang on for a long time, and then it'd be like jumping off a cliff, and it would hit her hard, and that's exactly what happened. And her last year of her life was pretty painful for her and painful for all of us. So I lost my mom in June of '90. So honestly, I was just doing the math with my husband Bill. Without a mom, longer than I was with a mom. So not long, it's like a 6-month difference. She was with me until June of '90, and now it's May of 2021. But I feel fortunate. Had a very predictable background with a kind of a mom solidly in the background. So that's my story. This is M9RKW, back to net control.
Very nice. So you're mom, and then you are a mom, and then pretty soon you're gonna have a daughter-in-law that's a mom someday. K9 VFP net control. Let's move on to KD9 SGA. David.
Thanks, Sid. Yeah, some real memories with my mom, and she's still around. But when I was a tot, she was the organist and choir director for a church. And so about the age of 6 years old, before I could hardly read, I was required to read sheet music. And then I can remember back when her and I, on a summer day, when everybody else was tied up with other things, I'd be moseying around in the church doing kid stuff, and I was a tot, probably under 5, and she'd be playing the pipe organ. So to this day, we still have a special relationship. So yeah, a lot of fond memories. I'll be giving her a call tomorrow. She's a little bit of a ways away, and she's usually got a full agenda on Mother's Day. So with my brothers and sisters. So anyways, that's my mom. So this is KD9 SGA Dave.
Well, thanks, Dave, for those words. This is K9 VFP, your net control operator for tonight. Yep, I bring back a lot of memories of my mother growing up. My mom was very involved with the sisters. I went to a Catholic school, and because she was very involved with the sisters, this was at the time they had their big habit change. She befriended most of them, so it was not unusual for me to come home from raising hell and find out that my math teacher was having dinner with us. Oh, lovely. Or it was a lot of fun to come home with a bunch of the kids from school and, there's one of the teachers, one of the sisters is sitting in the living room talking to my mother. And that was always fun and amusing. K9 VFP net control, KC9 WQJ Karen, the floor is yours.
That's such an interesting topic. Well, I will say this. I had an unusual relationship with my mom, but we managed to, in the end of it all, work out something, and I feel closer to her now. And even though she was a horrible mother, at least emotionally she was a horrible mother, I do miss some things about her, and I really wish that now that we got to a better understanding before she died, that she was around to enjoy some of the great grandkids that she has. So with that, I am going to have to say 73. I'm going to be listening, but this is my 73 round. I'm not going to make it one more round. But Vince, thank you for doing this net. Great topic, and carry on. KC9 WQJ Clear.
Well, thanks, Karen. This is K9 VFP, your net control operator. KB9 YQV, Shane, the floor is yours.
KB9YQV here. Yeah, I wouldn't trade my mother for anybody in the world. She was a very nice, kind, caring, compassionate mother. And, she always wanted to do things for you, always wanted to help you out. And so it's just unfortunate that she passed away in January of 2010, but that's what happens. KB9YQV back to next.
Yes, indeed. That's an unfortunate thing, but that's usually what happens in the end. It's the circle of life. We all go through it. My mom passed in 2013, so both my parents are gone, and so now you go on with life and move on. W9BL, Rob, the floor is yours.
My mom was a great mom. She's been gone for 20 years or so, 21 years, I guess. I lost her in 2000, but very traditional. She always wanted to help you out, always wanted to be there for you, always giving you a phone call from time to time, and loved her grandkids, and if she was around, she would have loved all her great grandkids too. But yeah, it's sometimes life is too short. But yeah, she always liked to get together on Sundays for roast beef, mashed potatoes, and the whole spread. She always wanted to cook for everybody and have everybody over. So yeah, it was fun. But yeah, very good. So back to you there in that control, and I want to add that this is my first time on your net here, so I'm over here in Marengo, so just let you know that. And back to you. W9BL.
Well, K9BFP here. Well, welcome, W9BL, Rob. Welcome to the net. We have net 7 nights a week, so there's always something good going on here. Hope to hear you back and enjoy. Let's move back up to the top of the list. N9EIO, Ed, the floor is yours.
Okay, what else can I add here? Oh, my mom was a good cook. She had, let's see, 2 sisters, 2 or 3 girls, but my grandma taught them how to cook. They were good cooks, and we rarely ate out when we were growing up. Always home-cooked meals. My mom made Hungarian veal goulash and halukis, if you know what those are. She made the best chicken livers with bacon and onions and, oh gosh, many other things. So nowadays I think a lot more people eat out. If you look at the grocery store, the entire center of the grocery store is like all processed foods and good stuff's on the outside of it. It all. But I guess that's kind of common for those of us that are older, is that we ate at home when there's a family much more often than today. But gosh, you never had to ask me to clean my plate. First, I was like the human vacuum cleaner. I would
inherited my mother's culinary skills. It's interesting because whenever I get together with my brother and my sister, they're always asking me to cook something like Ma used to cook because I kind of know all her recipes. A lot of the interesting things, when I moved out to the Midwest from Boston, she would come out here to visit me, and I would take her all around to all the ethnic grocery stores, both when I was in Illinois and when I was up in Wisconsin. And she would look and she would find all the things that she hadn't had for years, and I'd say, well, you want it, eat it. And she was very fond of liver. For some reason she liked liver, but nobody in our family has ever liked liver, so she would make it and eat it for herself. And she came out to see me, she made liver and she had it for herself. It's like, you have it? I just can't eat that stuff. Sorry. But enjoy. Those are the memories that we bring back. N9RKW, Cheryl, the floor is yours.
N9RKW here. Yes, there are many memories. I was telling Karen on the Pink Hamsters net, my mom was a blue-collar worker, so she worked very hard with her hands and was tired at night. But it wasn't unusual for her to decide to just whip up a batch of oatmeal raisin cookies, and I have her recipe. Honest to goodness, nobody can make those cookies like she did. They're not a typical oatmeal raisin cookie. They were just really soft and, they were yummy. So I just can't recreate her recipe, even though I have it. So whatever she did, and she used to whip up a pineapple upside-down cake from scratch. My mom was a special pie maker. She would make pies like nobody else. And Thanksgiving, she would come home from work on Wednesday after working 3 days and stay up till after midnight making over a dozen pies, getting the turkey ready for the next, and then all day in the kitchen. And then she was just selfless, was just totally selfless. On the topic of liver, I have to say my parents loved liver. I feel like it's generational. They would make liver and onions, and oh my God, none of the kids, none of us liked it. So I don't get it. It seems like that generation really liked liver. So anyways, it's fascinating to me, the different stories of moms, but you know, moms are women, they're human beings, and they're all different, and some more acclimated to the job of being a mom. It's, who are we to know? The generation of moms before us didn't have many choices, so I think they did the best they could. This is N9RKW, back to net control.
K9VFP net control. Yes, indeed, Cheryl, they are. They're all different. They're all unique. They're as unique as people. And it's just that special connection we share with them that is simply a one point to point, and there are as many different flavors of that as there are people. So that's just what it is. KD9SGA, David, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Vince. Yeah, what memories? You know, all this conversation, I can share so many memories that connect with the memories everybody's talking about. And one of the things I remember is we have a big family dinner, usually once a week, and Sunday afternoon, and when it was time to start cooking, I would be in the kitchen with her. So made a lot of meals together, and so that was always very wonderful. And yeah, I had kind of a special connection with my mom, and I got in more trouble than most of the other kids in the family. And every now and then, in a playful way, she'd just smack me once, and I'd be like, "Well, Mom, what was that for?" And she said, "Well, David, if you haven't done something you deserve to be smacked about, you probably will." So we're just catching up on the game. So yeah, what
YQV. Shane, the floor is yours.
YQV here. Yeah, on the subject of Sunday dinners, my mom used to make like beef stew or Swedish, or like a Swedish meatball, but instead it had, instead of gravy, it had cocktail sauce and grape jelly on it. Now, I'm not much of a jelly person, but I definitely liked that. It was almost like a barbecue sauce that it made when you mix the grape jelly with the cocktail sauce and put it on the meatballs. It was just delicious. She made that once in a while. She made beef stew. You know, she made all kinds of things like that in the slow cooker on Sundays. She couldn't master making bread, so what she did was she got a bread machine, and when she used the bread machine, she made bread that was to die for, and that was usually on Sundays. KB9YQV back to net.
K9DFC, your net control operator here. Well, that's interesting, yes. Mom's recipes are always something good to remember and try and recreate. W9BL, Rob, the floor is yours.
I can remember my mom was a good sport too. Was growing up, we used to go camping all the time in the summer, and yeah, I know she didn't really want to go. She'd rather stay home, but I had two brothers. We just had three boys in our family, and so she had to go along with the group of guys, and she was a good sport. She got right out there. We pitched tents and tent camped, so it was kind of rough for her, but she made it through. So, but yeah, good times. I'm gonna have to say 73's last. I gotta move along here, but I enjoyed being here, and I'll look for you guys again here on the net here. So you guys take care. Have a good one. Good evening, everyone, and enjoyed all the comments about mothers. It was fun. So I'll say 73's back to net control. W9BL, Marinko.
K9BFP, your net control operator. Good evening, Rob, and we'll hope to hear you again. Let's go up to the top one more time, and this will be the 73 round. N9EIO, Ed, the floor is yours.
Yeah. N9EIO. Love you, Mom. These radio waves, maybe they're reaching you out there, California. Thanks for all the diapers. There was no Pampers and Huggies when I was a baby. It was cloth diapers, and she'd soak them. They'd be sometimes in the toilet. But I remember, those big bobby pins in those cloth diapers? Oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah, so, yeah, thanks, Mom. And 73's everybody. Have a good night. Oh, I should say M9EIO, back to that.
K9VFP, your net control operator, 73 Ed, and good night. KD9SOR, Bill, the floor is yours.
I was just thinking how my mom's a pretty good cook too, but she's an excellent nurse working over at Oconomowoc. Graduated from UW Milwaukee, and soon I will be too. In about a week here, hard on my homework, so I'm going to get back to that since I'm finished up here. Excellent nurse working in the ICU, so it's been very hectic with the COVID stuff, but she's been hanging in there, and she's always happy to see me. And I'm always happy to see her, despite how hard she's working. She's always keeping happy. Yeah. Really appreciate her. It was difficult growing up when I was younger, but now that I'm becoming an adult, graduating from college here, and all that stuff, it's really changed our relationship. It's gotten a lot better, become a lot closer recently, so I appreciate that. KD9SOR, back to net control.
Thanks, Bill. Yes, indeed. As we get older, there's that transition, and hopefully we're all lucky enough to get to know our mothers as people when we're basically adults at that point and can actually see eye to eye and accept each other for who we are. N9RKW, Cheryl, the floor is yours.
N9RKW. Well, thanks, Bill, to you, you and your mom. I don't know a more laudable career these days than nursing. And thanks to her for being in the ICU and all the many hours on her feet dealing with COVID. I'm just struck by Mom's selfless duties from Dave. I think it was Dave talking about camping and the boys, and she really didn't want to go. I know my husband's family, they would go to a cabin every summer for 2 weeks. And to me, it's like, well, that means Mom has to pack everything up and make sure she has everything she needs, and just to cook in a kitchen where she doesn't have everything, even if she tries to remember everything. And there's bugs and dirty kids, out in the wilderness. And I remember Easter packing a basket for Christopher at midnight and thinking, oh, where the heck am I going to hide this basket? And I remember as a kid thinking, wow, my mom's not very creative, and I just had this flashback. I get it. She's so exhausted, she barely got the baskets made. So, moms do so many selfless things, and it's just amazing. I also remember when I was visiting Bill's mom, and she was like, oh, we don't need to wrap the Christmas presents. And I go, of course, that's really important for Christopher. And now, after years of wrapping Christmas presents, I get it. It's like, how many more things do I need to do as a mom? So, anyways, I've had it easy. One kid and one easy kid that grew up and, gave him roots, and he took wings at 18. But moms are selfless, and I will just stand by. I will just say I wouldn't feel right if I didn't say, as a past therapist, I was a therapist for years, that there are moms that are abusive and are neglectful and aren't nurturing, and Mother's Day is a sad day for some because they haven't had the experience that some of us have had in experiencing nurturing moms. So, anyways, this is N9RKW. Vince, you're just doing a fabulous job, and I'm really appreciative to be able to check into the FunNet. This is N9RKW saying 7-3.
K9VFP here. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you for the words, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. Let's move on. KD9SGA, David, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Vince. Yeah, just lost power for a second. In any case, the memory I'll leave with is I'm with everybody else, but if you can imagine, my mom was a choir director and an organist, so especially around Christmas time, every now and then we'd all be in the room and she'd sit down at the piano and we had all the parts covered for a quartet. My dad sang bass and I sang tenor. Sisters that sing alto and soprano, and so if you can imagine, those kind of moments. So both my parents are very musically inclined, so blessings that we have. And you're, Cheryl, you're completely right. There's so many moms that aren't all they could be for their kids. For
NVFP here. Thanks, Dave. Thanks for the kind words, and we'll move on. KB9 YQB Shane, the floor is yours.
Speaking of KB9 YQB here, speaking of mothers who are nurses, my mother was also a nurse, and when I got burned in 2008, she would come home from work on her lunch break to change the dressings on my hands. And then she would go back to work, and then she would come home and then change them again before she went to bed so that, they were clean and it healed decently, And I mean, that's just the kind of mother she was. She would do those kind of things for you if you needed it. And 73 is KB9YQV, back to net.
NVFP here. Yes, indeed. So, our moms, all beautiful people. They all basically brought us into the world and escorted us along until we got our own wings and made sure we were flying in some way or shape or form. So this is K9VFC, your net control operator for the FunNet. And we're going to bring the net to a close now at 8:47 p.m. We're returning the repeater to normal amateur use. K9VFP, your net control operator, signing off. 73 to all, and thank you for joining the net. Bye.